वो कहते हैं ना, if you land up to a place where you didn't think you would land up. So this is true for me, as I ended up being in New Zealand for 3.5 years and had some lovely moments being there. So hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Anu, you're just a normal girl, and I'm here to share my experience about living abroad, staying there, getting education from New Zealand, and what all experiences I had. I'm telling you, this is not a fairy tale. Okay, the journey was quite tough. I had a lot of struggle. I had to overcome a lot of difficulties in my journey, but yet it was amazing, and I had some beautiful moments back in New Zealand. So I'll be sharing my experience here, and I'm eager to know from everybody else in the audiences who have got such a lovely experience. You know, if you are living abroad or if you are thinking of going abroad and doing your studies, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel so that I can explore the new people, and we can share their stories at this. So let me get started with this. It all started with just a normal casual talk with one of my friend. He was my school colleague. So he I remember him saying that come out of the comfort zone and come out of the puddle, because once you start getting comfortable here, you won't take a risk. So I think that was the point when I started thinking about what he meant, because what he meant was come out of this zone and try to explore new world. Because I had education back in India, so I had my master's degree in mathematics. I had a bachelor degree in education. So he was like, go ahead, explore some new stuff for yourself, and you can see what you can do. So but then, just as this thought came random, it was very difficult for me to firstly digest the thought of going abroad. Secondly, you always have that self doubt, where you think it's not my cup of tea, or I'm not good enough to do that. But mind it, the moment you doubt yourself, you're actually taking less efforts towards your goal. So so my first thing to do after accepting that I can do this, I went back home. I talked to my parents, like every girl would do. You have your mom as your audience, the first audience who would listen to all your crap. And I went back home. I talked to my mom, and she was like, I don't think this is a good decision, because I was risking my job. Remember, mind it, I had a good job back in India. I was at the age where I was supposed to get married in next couple of years, and then I was able to achieve a salary of 5 to 6 lakhs per annum at that stage. So my mom was like, why do you want to risk all this and start afresh and struggle again? So I was like, okay, let me just try giving an exam for this, and then let's see what happens. So it wasn't that easy. It is difficult to convince your Indian parents, and it's not because they are against your dream. No, they are not, I'll tell you, because they are just concerned about how are you going to manage this stuff. Especially for a girl child, it becomes difficult to convince the parents that she is able to do things which a boy can do. Okay. Especially for me, because I was the eldest daughter in the family, and I must say I was very, very, very much pampered, to the extent that I got my plate served on my table every twice or thrice a week, because I was working 11 hours a day. I was doing my school job. I was taking tuitions, private tuitions. I was doing lecture. I was taking lectures in classes. So yeah, I used to leave house at 7:30 in the morning and come back home at 12:30, 11:30 or 9:30 probably at there, yeah, in the week. So it was difficult for me to convince my parents, but then I thought of giving it a try anyhow. So I didn't tell my parents at that stage that I'm appearing for an exam. So I did my research about what exams I have to give. So those who are trying for going abroad, you have got IELTS exam, which is English language test. You have SAT exams, you have GRE, you have TOEFL, and you have GMAT as well. So you can go for any of these exams if you want to go abroad, depending upon the country you want to go. So for me, when I was applying for New Zealand, I gave IELTS because it was easy. They said it was easy, but it wasn't that easy. Especially for me, when I came where I came from, like I had a mathematics background, so the only English I used was hence proved and therefore. Okay, so yeah, yeah, that's a joke, but yeah, it was difficult for me. So I did my research about the classes, and I joined the classes. I gave my fees, got the brochure back home, and the next day I was all charged up to go and do my studies there. So I went for the class, did my first session, came back, and I saw my mom holding the brochure of the class I just came from. So I'm telling you, that was the most scariest moment in my life. I mean, I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I was doing something against her wish. So it was kind of a wrong thing at that point of time. So, basically, it is difficult for an Indian parent to accept that her child is able to take her own decision and she can do what she's saying she will be doing. So, I think for me, like we had a big discussion after I came home. She had heaps of questions. It started from where did you get this brochure from? Are you going for the classes? What course are you trying to apply for? How many years will it take for you to get the course done? What place are you going for, or what colleges you are planning to go for? And there were many questions, and it was not only my mom, it was my dad as well who interrogated me for that. I was able to give like 50% of the answers at that point because I did my 50% research, and I knew this was coming. Definitely I knew this was coming because if you're doing something without telling people, they will come to know, okay, anyhow. And you can't mess up with your mom, that is for sure. You can't mess up with your mom. She's that good spy who would take care of her child no matter where he or she is. So yeah, I mean, after that we had a discussion and I was able to convince my mom and dad. And I'll tell you from that very day, she was my first motivator in the family, because she was there behind me after that for giving my exams to completing my course, getting back to India if I wanted to. And she was there for every single thing. And the first clap I ever had was from my mom. And I just want to say her thank you from this video. Like, thank you for being there every single time. So yeah, I started preparing for IELTS, and I'll tell you, it wasn't that easy. Okay, it wasn't that easy. So it took me 2.5 months to complete the whole course and give my exams. The results were a funny thing. Okay, so I got my results after 15 days. Yeah, it takes 15 days to get it delivered to you, and also the results are displayed within 15 days. Okay, so I got my results, and the consultancy where I was going for my for my coaching, they called me up saying that I got 7.5 bands in my IELTS. And I asked them, like, I just told the manager there, or the receptionist person, can you please double check my my results? I don't think I deserve so much band. I mean, the maximum I could get is 6.5 to 7, but not 7.5 for sure. And the whole team there, they started laughing. And they were like, why are you doubting yourself? Okay, why don't you think you will get 7.5? I said, no, because I didn't get good bands in my classes. Like, when I was doing my exams in classes, I never got such a good grade. My English professor, who was teaching me at that point of time, he started laughing with the thought that I was underestimating myself. And he's like, you deserved this. You had the full right to get this band, because I didn't tell you before, but you were good enough to do that. So I was like, okay, fine. So we have cleared first step. We have got enough band to get into a college. But now the main question was where I was going. Okay, because at that time, like in 2018, there was a craze about going to Canada and US, and then the next was Europe. Okay, so I didn't think of going to New Zealand at all. I'll tell you that. I had never imagined myself going to New Zealand. Okay, um, it so happened that when I went to the consultancy, they said, you have to pay 35,000 rupees for for the consultation for US, and you will also have paid consultation for Canada. And those two places are actually considered to be very expensive when it comes to education. So if you're planning to go to US or Canada for your education purpose, make sure you have enough funds at your end. Also, you have a good experience if you're taking a break in between, and you're going for your masters after some years, not just after your bachelor's. So yeah, it was kind of difficult so to finalize what place I'm going for. And then it was more difficult for me to finalize what course I'm going to take. Okay, so yeah, I decided to come down to New Zealand because for one of the reason was they had a pretty good education culture there, and the second thing was it was economically affordable. I was able to afford the fees structure there, and they had the privilege to work anywhere in the country. Okay, you can study in Auckland, and you can work in Auckland. Okay, so they had better policies. There were many pros as compared to US at that point of time, which were in my favor. Okay, uh, I hope you're enjoying my chit chat with you guys and my experience so far. There is still more to come. This is just the start of the journey, and mind it, the next part is more tougher than this one. So if you are still here, stay tuned for the next episode of the journey, so I can explain you what all things I did after this. And if you like my content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye. See ya.